Hey guys, this is Gordon with Foxfire Unlimited. This is my more recent pickups video on a completely separate day from the one that I just shot. That I shot the other day, something like that. Anyway, so I'm just going to get right into it because as you can see from the table, which you can only see part of, I have way too much stuff in front of me. So that's why I split this into two videos. Like I said, it's a completely different day. Anyway, so first things first. I got this mainly because, like I said, I got a Wii U, and I don't want to fly through the batteries. So I saw this. It was $10. It was a special on Amazon, might have been eBay, something like that. But I saw it on Slick Deal, so I picked it up just because I wanted to make Afro Blue jealous. But it's an inductive charger for two Wiimotes, and it's Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a Mad Catz product, but I'm not going to hold that against them because it's a freaking battery charger with rechargeable batteries. So, how much can they screw that up? And famous last words. So anyway, this is just the empty box. Let me actually show you guys. This is the actual charger. It's not plugged in right now, obviously, but these are my two old controllers. It's magnetic, so you can actually supposedly hang it on a wall. There we go. So, yeah, and then whenever you want to charge it, all you got to do, and it snaps into place. So, whoop, there we go. So, it does that, and then it's got one of those old 3D artwork kind of, those... If you can hear that ripply effect, but 3D artwork of Sonic itself. So Afro Blue, that one's for you. So there's that. And I'm just gonna put this. I need to clean. There's way too much stuff here. This I got a long time ago. I forgot to mention the hidden 3DS game. I got it for $5. So the game's terrible, but again, 3DS game for $5. Can't really beat it. Plus, it's one of the first of its kind. This and Spirit Camera, they're decent. They're not great, but they're worth just picking up and playing for like an hour or two. So, there's that. Let's see. Half-price books. Let's go with that one for right now. They had this... I don't care what people say. It's sort of become a thing to look at old games that aren't quite as good as they are now, as like the games that are coming out now, and just bash on them for just making fun of them just to make fun. The whole angry review, that type of thing. Like I don't really like that. I play games for the game itself. If a game is, like, for instance, I'll freely admit, I played the ever-loving crap out of Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. I just did. It was a good game. It's Super Spike Volleyball with pretty graphics and custom soundtracks. I think I already mentioned that one or two times. Number 2 was freaking terrible, but that's because the creator and director and all that kind of stuff, he lost his freaking mind. And then, thankfully, DOA 5 was actually really good. But, so, and getting back to the point, there was some games that it's just become the popular thing to just bash on. And this is one of them. And this was only $2, and it doesn't have the box, but it came with a manual, and so this is like my 5th copy of this, and I have like 7 manuals, actually. But $2. So, E.T. And whenever I was a kid, the very first system that I got was an Atari Heavy Sixer, and it is, it's over there right now. But, then this is my, well, that's a Genesis that is painted for Miss Pac-Man. This is it. I had to replace the Switch with one that's not quite so much, but this is my original Atari Heavy Sixer. This is my original. This is the very first system that I ever owned. I was 3.5 years old, and my mother's friends just gave it to us. It still has the label on the bottom, but manufactured by Atari Wong Limited in Hong Kong. Model number CX2600. Call toll-free Atari Super Service in California or the continental United States. I'm wondering if those still work. But anyway, so that's my Atari Heavy Sixer. And I played E.T. whenever I was younger. Well, that's my chair, if you can hear it. But I played E.T. whenever I was younger, and of course you can't beat it, but I enjoyed it. Because, I was 4 years old. Now, here's the thing. I hate the movie. I hate the freaking movie. It's, in my opinion, I hated the movie. I hate the movie. It's a dumb movie. But the game was actually, I enjoyed it. It was fun to me. And going back on it, I can still play it. It's, I was playing it just the other day, and, it's not a good game, but it's not bad. So stop ripping on games just because it's popular to rip on games. So there's that. Anyway, $2 couldn't pass that up. So moving along. Okay, there's a store in Hopewell, I think it's called the Game Masters Realm. I picked up a couple of games from there. One is Pangea Fantasy Golf. This is the exact same game that's on the Nintendo Wii, that whenever that first came out, called Let's Golf or something like that. Only that one you can play as Kasumi and some people from Dead or Alive. But anyway, I picked this up for $4. It's in perfect condition. It's like, there's not even many scratches on the actual cover itself, so pick that up. It's one of the only sports games that I can actually tolerate. But it's sort of like Hot Shots, only it's more of a Korean style type of golf. So there's that one. Anyway, let's see what else. I picked these up at Game Masters Realm as well. Sorry, I'm organizing stuff. Everything's a mess. Oh, I got one thing at GameStop recently. Stranglehold. And Alpha was with me. It was actually on Valentine's Day. So Alpha was with me. We were in GameStop just killing time before our reservation for the hibachi place. And this was... It says $12.99 right there, but it's actually the label for Tomb Raider Underworld. The case for it was just terrible, so the guy actually did me a favor and swapped out the case for a nicer one. But John Woo's Stranglehold, it's just a ridiculous game. Like, it's just over the top. But it's got Chow Yun-Fat, right? Is that? Yeah, Chow Yun-Fat. And it was $2.99 plus my 10% off or whatever it was. So PS3 game for $2.99. Can't pass that up. So there's that. That's the one thing I got from GameStop. Anyway, back to the Game Masters realm. Some long box games. So Air Combat, actually pretty decent game. $5 in the long box. The disc itself it's a first run disc. You can tell because the other ones are not blue. But the game it's almost perfect. So there's that. Then I think it's this one. Yeah. He couldn't actually find... What is going on there? He couldn't actually find... Oh, that goes up here. So he couldn't actually find the disc for this one. Ooh, never mind. That goes down there, I guess. But this was $3. I wanted it just because it's a long box game. I will never play it. But he couldn't find the disc for it, so he just gave me the case for free. So that's... Hey, whatever. I can find the game for like a nickel somewhere. And then NHL Face Off. I got it, $3 as well. It's a long box game, and I miss all my... I used to have a bunch of long box games, and I just don't anymore, because, like I mentioned in the last video, my collection was pilfered a couple of times. So, there's that. Then, let's see, did I get anything else from Game Master's Room? No, I did not. Okay, so, back to... what am I doing? Oh, no, I did get other stuff from him. Fester's Quest. Again, people just rip on games because they think they're bad, but they've actually never played them, and the person who told them that it was bad never really played it. This game's a lot of fun. Yeah, you only have one life, and the game is hard as all hell. But it's fun, and it's fair. If you get hit, it's because you got hit. So, it's Fester's Quest for regular Nintendo. And the music is actually really, really good. I don't care what people say. Play a game because it's good. This one is good. So, but this is in the original plastic. It's got the H seam on the back. They left in the plastic. The box is kind of crushed a little bit, but I got this for $6. in the box, complete. It's got the styrofoam in there and everything. So, $6. Moving on. Operation Wolf. I got this for $8. It's complete. It's got the styrofoam. It's still got the H. Oh, this one does not have an H seam. Probably because it wasn't official. It was Taito. Anyway, but it's still got the original plastic on it. It's complete. Operation Wolf. Another game that's just hard as all get out. It's just really, really hard. If you beat this game without a Game Genie, you're better at it than I am. Because I could only get to, I think, stage 4 without a Game Genie. So, Operation Wolf. Great in the arcade if you can actually still find an arcade that works. Because the guns weren't actually... most of the guns were basically light guns in the arcade with Operation Wolf, and another game, Revolution X, is another one that's just really good. I don't care what people say. It was actually, the stand that it was attached to, the gun rotated up and down, and the stand was basically one big joystick, and that's how the gun worked. So a lot of them just don't work anymore because it used a rubber boot in the actual arcade, and the rubber boot wears out. So there's that. And then another one, I got this one, I paid $12 for it, but I don't care, the game is great. Skate or Die, and this is in absolutely perfect condition. This game, the box is not crushed at all. The lid is ever so slightly used. It doesn't even have the little crease right here like you normally find. This was a steal. I cannot believe I found this. And the weird thing was, I don't have video game dreams, but I had a dream that I was out shopping at I think it was it Jamesway? There's a chain that doesn't exist anymore in Western Pennsylvania. I don't know how far it went elsewhere. But if you remember Jamesway, that it was the store where kids went to dream, because they just had they had games there, and when you were a little kid and the store had games that you could look at while your mother and whoever you were with was like doing regular shopping, then that was great. So anyway, but Skate or Die. So I found it in my dream, and then we went to the Game Master's Realm, and it was just sitting there. So I had to have it because I don't even have I don't think I do. No, so I didn't even have it the regular, because like I said, my collection was pilfered. And whenever I got this, whenever I was a kid, I was a little kid, so I got it on Christmas Day, and along with Double Dragon 1 in that big red box, and well, same size box. But anyway, a kid on Christmas Day, I just tore into it. I just ripped the box open and everything. But this is yeah, Skate or Die. It's pretty good. And Alpha was saying he never actually played this, so I'm gonna make him play it sooner or later. So that's Skate or Die. Let's see here. Let's go with another thing. I got this on Amazon, Lollipop Chainsaw. It was like $15. So I started playing it, and I'm not gonna lie, I watch My Little Pony. I am not like a crazy brony. I don't go nuts with it. I don't like walk around going hoof bump, like that's just over the top and insane. But it's just really funny because going from My Little Pony, hearing Tara Strong she does the same exact voice for Juliet in this game as she does for Twilight Sparkle in My Little Pony. So hearing Twilight Sparkle essentially saying, man, zombie bus drivers they suck dick at driving, like, it's extra hilarious. So if you haven't already, check this game out, and if you haven't checked it out and you haven't watched My Little Pony yet, it's worth watching a couple of episodes of My Little Pony just to getting that voice in your head and then playing it, and it's just really, really funny. And Alpha agrees with me, although he hasn't watched any episodes yet, but I showed him Twilight on YouTube, and he was just laughing his ass off because it's the same voice. So there's that. Let's see here. Let's go with Half Price Books. So I walked into Half Price Books the other day, and I saw this, Return Fire in the long box. And it's kind of like, it's separating right here, and typical wear and tear for a long box, but it's still got the foam, so that's nice. The game disc is flawless. It's got the manual in there. And this game's just a lot of fun. It's mindless blowing crap up. And I had it on the 3DO, And like I said, my copies kind of went missing. And so I saw this and I was like, huh, $8? Yeah, it's going home with me. Plus they were having 20% off, so that was nice too. And then what was weird was I saw a couple of things sitting right next to the PlayStation 3 section. And those were this. Road Rash and Space Ace on 3DO. This one was, I think, $5.99, and this one was, I think, $4.99. So, in the long box, in great condition, all things considered. Space Ace is almost flawless, but, you know, it even has the mailer in it still. So, it's really great to find that, especially because there's not many people in Pittsburgh that know as much about the 3DO as I do. And Half Price Books actually, they know that. They actually give me some deals too because, you know, the one in Monroeville, they get a lot of rare stuff just out of the blue. More so than you'd really think that a Half Price Books would get. So anyway, they got it like 2 hours later. I showed up, and it was just a complete coincidence. And they said they were thinking about putting these back for me, but in the end they just didn't really know what to do with them because they had never even heard of 3DO. So I asked them if they had anything more that was traded in with them, because normally 3DO games don't really show up by themselves, and it's true. So they had more that was just sitting behind the counter that they just didn't know what to do with, because they didn't want them to be confused with PC games and all that kind of stuff, so they just had them sitting behind the counter in limbo. So I went and I asked, I was like, was there anything else that got traded in with it? You move some stuff around. And they were like, well, yeah, so here's these. If you want them, we'll give them to you for a great deal. So I did. I picked up a bunch of 3DO games, Out of This World, complete. It's not in a long box, but Out of This World, if I don't even know if that one came in a long box, but $4. The Perfect General. This one did come in a long box, but if you find it in a long box, you're very lucky. $4. This is normally a $20-$25 game. Out of This World is probably only around $5 because it was mass produced and they had like 6 different versions of it that they packaged it in. Excuse me. The next one, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. This is as close to arcade perfect as you can get. Yeah, there's some loading times because it's a disc-based system, but this is arcade flawless. And every single person that I tell that to is like, no, it's the 3DO, it's a 16-bit system, how could it be arcade flawless? This is arcade flawless. I put this in for them, and they're like, dude, that's arcade flawless. It's absolutely perfect. And with the 3DO, you can hook up Genesis arcade sticks, and it's just, it's great. So this is the definitive Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo for that generation. $4. Next is one of my all-time favorite platformers, $4 as well. Gex. If you can beat this without any codes, you're a damn good player. This game is hard as all hell, and it's so worth playing too. It cemented Crystal Dynamics as one of the best developers for that time, in my opinion. Granted, they made a lot of sports games, so I didn't really get to play a lot of their stuff, but Gex. Definitely play this game. They made it in the PlayStation, it's in the long box, and it's in the regular, I think it's in the jewel case version of it too. But Gex 2, not bad. Gex 3, Deep Cover Gecko, kind of stupid. But those are 3D like Mario 64. This one is a regular side-scroller like Super Mario World, regular Mario, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really good, and it's really pretty funny too. Just because he just keeps on saying all kinds of random stuff, making fun of the game, breaking the fourth wall, and that's just fun. And then, oddly enough, Return Fire on the 3DO, $4. It's not the long box, but again, if you can find this in the long box, you got really lucky. So there's that. And then something that's really kind of, it's not expensive because 3DO isn't really expensive because there's no copy protection on the 3DO. And it's not. There's not many collectors because a lot of people don't really know just how good most of the games are. But Return Fire Maps O' Death. This is This is better than regular Return Fire just because the level design in this one is just crazy. It's basically if you're familiar with Doom terms, this is the Hell Revealed 2 version of Return Fire. So it's really, really good. And then this is like a $40 to $50 game. They gave it to me for $3.99, and I cannot believe it. I have the long box version of it right over there, and I am so glad to have a second copy of it. Killing Time, and this is a first-person shooter that's all like real-life actor type of thing. So it's just good. It's just a good time. It's kind of weird. It's no, it's not kind of weird. It's extremely weird, especially when you get to the clowns, because I don't know if they actually hurt you or not, but they're just... Look up some gameplay footage of that. It's just... ooh. So, but as weird as it is, it gets kind of creepy at times. And it's really pretty hard, too. So anyway, that's Killing Time. And I think a PC version of it as well, so you might be able to find that easier than you can find the 3DO version. If not, you can just emulate the 3DO, and there's that. So, anyway, that's Half Price Books. Oh, it's not Half Price Books, because there's two other things that I found at Half Price Books. Like I said, 3DOs don't normally turn up by themselves, so after they showed me the games, they're like, oh, and we have this, but we don't have wires for it. But but you can have it for, like, we'll make you a good deal on it. And so for $15, they gave me a 3DO FZ1. $15. All it needs is AV cables, because this is attached, the actual plug, and it had 2 controllers with it, and it had a third controller still sealed in the box. It's an off-brand controller, but I have one of these on the Sega. It's essentially the same controller. It's a decent off-brand controller. So I'm gonna keep this sealed, and $15, 3 controllers and an FZ1. I tried it out. Unfortunately, the laser is actually bad in this one. The laser doesn't actually, if you've ever done any work on the actual the laser assembly where the little lens goes, it doesn't do that. So the what am I trying to say? The gear that makes it move and actually work. I don't know. There's a specific word I have it on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. Engage, that makes the CD engage and start to read the disc, doesn't work. So if I can, there's a Russian guide that I'm probably one of the only people in Pittsburgh that has the knowledge and the skill to do that. So they gave it to me for dirt cheap just because they want to see it live again. So there's that. And then there is one more thing that I got at Half Price Books, and I saw just the little side of it, and I was like, huh, is that, because they have this whole shelf that's just basically games and systems that were traded in or abandoned that just were in limbo, they don't know what to do with. So they had, I saw it peeking out of a bag, and I was like, huh, that's an original Genesis 1, huh? And they're like, yeah, it doesn't have any wires, but we'll give it to you for $10. I'm like, $10 for a Genesis 1, I mean, I already have a couple of them, and they're like, all right, well, we'll just you know, I said, well, just let me look at it, and I'll see if it's worth the $10. So they brought it over, and I pulled it out of the bag, and I was like, so this is for $10, and they're like, yeah, whatever's in the bag, $10. And I was like, okay, sold. Because not only is it a Genesis, it's a Sega CD 2, but here's the crazy thing. I have only ever seen one of these previously in my life, in person. It's got the Mega Drive adapter on it. So I got this whole thing, the Genesis 1. It doesn't have the extension plate on it, but it's the Genesis 1, the Sega CD 2, and the Mega Drive adapter for $10. This was that and the 3DO all in one trip, and all those 3DO games. My night was made. So this is crazy. It needs a lot of TLC. This was in a smoker's home, You can tell just because it's got nicotine caked all over it, but I restore consoles, so if it went to anyone, it went to the right person. But everything still works beautifully. The Sega CD door, whoop, spoke too soon. The Sega CD door used to work. There we go. But that's probably just from the nicotine. I can fix that, no problem. So yeah, $10. What a steal. So, there's that, and almost to the end here. There's a brand new store that just opened up. It's called Penn Hills Exchange. It's on Rodi Road. If you're in Pittsburgh, absolutely go check it out. It's Anna and Stu are the people who are running it. It's pretty much their own stuff. They have a couple of projectors there. They've got pinball machines there. They've got arcade boards. They actually have a Mortal Kombat 1 arcade board. They have, this is so cool. If you want to play any of their arcade boards that they have there, they'll actually put it in an actual arcade machine, or they'll put it on one of the projectors, anything like that. They have probably 100 Neo Geo MVS arcade boards there, or cartridges there, that they can just throw up for you. They've got the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Tower of Doom, and Shadows over Mystaria arcade boards, actual arcade boards, so you can actually play those if you go there, and it's great. I'm telling you, if you're in Pittsburgh, go there. It's called Penn Hills Exchange, and their prices are actually pretty decent. Case in point, these I picked up. Again, I don't really like sports games, but Sega Saturn, $2. The case is flawless. I got it for the case. So the case doesn't have any cracks in it whatsoever. Again, $2. Case is flawless. I got it for, well, the case has a tiny little crack right there. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to do the typical Saturn collector thing. Any of my more expensive games, if there's a crack in the case, I'm just going to swap the case out. So there we go. $2. Hockey. So there's that. Again, $2. Hockey. I might actually play the hockey because hockey's one of the only sports games I actually like. This one's got a sort of a crack in the front, but it was only $1. Still, the cases are worth it. And the games are complete, so you can't really argue there. So, I did get one thing at the exchange. Sonic 3D Blast, $10. It's complete, the disc is flawless. $10. So, Afro Blue, there you go, there's another one for you. And then there's it says $3 on here, but Game Genie for the Sega Genesis, they sold it to me for $1, and they had 2 more there. So if you get there quick, you might be able to get a Game Genie for the Genesis for $1. And the pins are great. It looks like they cleaned it before they sold it, so absolutely great. And then let's see here. This I've never seen in person, so I had to pick it up. Golden Axe, the Duel. The game is terrible, absolutely terrible. I've played it before. I've never actually seen the whole thing complete in person, but the game's horrible. But it's worth just because it's Golden Axe. You know, whatever. It's a fighting game made by Sega. Eternal Champions. Anyway, so Golden Axe the Duel. And then they also had this, Ghost in the Shell on regular PlayStation. The game is absolutely great. It's really freaking hard, but the game is really good. Sequel, Standalone Complex on the PS2, also really freaking hard. Then where is it? I had something else here. Where did it go? I got something else from there too, and I don't really know where it went. I don't know. I thought it was right here. Anyway, Iron Storm on the... No, I put it away already, did I? No. Anyway, Iron Storm on the Sega Saturn. Oh, I know what's happening. It's propping up my camera right now. So anyway, Iron Storm was one of the absolute last Working Designs games that I actually needed to complete my Working Designs collection. It was complete in the box. The only problem was the disc itself had this tiny little curve of a hole in the label on the actual silver foil poking through on the label. So the game is playable, but once you get to a certain point, it will in fact fail. So they sold it to me complete for $10. So I was happy with that. They wanted $30 for it, but for a copy that isn't 100%, they said they would feel guilty selling it for that price anyway, so they just said, would you want it for $10 just to get it out of here? And I was like, yes, I would, thank you. So that was that. So that was that store, and it's just, I'm so glad they opened up. I will be going there quite a bit. They have an Odyssey 2 in the box. The box is sort of beat up, but what Odyssey 2 box isn't? They want $40 for it. It comes with 4 controllers, and they said they'd throw in a couple games for me. So they're going to clean it up for me, and I can't wait. They also have an Atari 5200 in the box. She didn't give me a price for it yet, but I'll probably be walking home with that because the 5200 is the only Atari system, besides the Jaguar, obviously, that I personally have never had. And I would like to get it because there's a video that I want to do. Well, it's a whole series that I want to do, and I will need a 5200 in order to do so. So anyway, there's that. The box is all beat to hell for the 5200, but it's a 5200 in the box, so, so whatever. And then there was something else that I got. $35. I've been looking for one for over a year. A Famicom. The controllers are in phenomenal condition. The buttons are still spongy. They're still great. I've already hooked it up to my TV. This one is not AV modded, but they wanted $35 for it, so it's absolutely great. And then they're getting one in that I'm probably going to... They said that they would be more than happy to let me return this one and just pay the overage. They're getting one that's a Hong Kong version in the box, and they're going to AV mod it, and also I'll probably be exchanging this one for that one. But an actual Famicom, and this one you can tell was actually adult owned because there's that protective sticker on the label still, so that's great. And the serial number is actually 1,263,000, so it's a fairly low serial number. But that's just great because if you want to get one of these, you basically one of your only options is to import it off of like eBay, and they want like $35 plus $35 shipping just for one of these, not in the box and all that kind of stuff. And so I saw this and I was like, wrap it up. So there's that. Now I don't have to use my... Where did it go? That figures, everything's missing today. Now I don't have to use my Gyromite. No, that's not right. It's here somewhere. Oh, well. Now I don't have to use my... That was a pretty weak clap. Anyway, now I don't have to use my Gyromite adapter in order to play my Famicom games, so that works. And last but not least, this is something that I flipped out whenever it got here, and I've been playing for probably 4 months straight. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Demon's Souls and Dark Souls. This is my collector's edition Dark Souls from launch. Play this game if you haven't already. Play this game. It's amazing. But Namco Bandai kind of put their hands in the mix just a little bit too much, and From Software promised us the expansion pack, the Artorias of the Abyss. Whenever we found out that the expansion pack was coming out on the PC and not consoles, they were like, no. They're going to get it first, but here's the thing. It's going to be out before the end of the year, and we're going to give it to you for free. So it'll be a free expansion pack for the consoles. So we were all excited. And then about, 3 weeks before it was set to launch on the consoles, Namco Bandai stepped up and they were like, no, it's going to be $15. So you're going to have to pay up. And we are releasing the Prepare to Die edition for the consoles in Asia and Europe, but even though the Europe one is essentially the same thing as the American version, only with more languages, we're not going to give it to you. So they did not release the Prepare to Die edition here. You can only get it digitally, and I hate DLC-only crap. And all my friends online, they're all saying, well, why don't you just get the DLC? It's $15. It's not going to matter. And I'm like, because 20 years from now, I'm going to want to play it, and I don't want to deal with finding the right hard drive, or doing this, doing that, downloading whatever, hacking, hacking an old PS3 to where I could just throw it on the hard drive, all that kind of stuff. Plus, Dark Souls, the save files are write protected, so you can't even transfer them from one PS3 to another one, all that kind of bullcrap. So anyway, I was very upset. So my very first PAL import, thanks to AfroBlue for pointing me to the right way to get one of these. Yeah, this is a European Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition for the PS3, and it does play on American PS3s because American PS3s for PS3 games don't have region coding. So this has the expansion pack on it. So essentially I have 2 copies of Dark Souls now. But I had to start over with all my characters, but that's alright, because that's basically all you do with Dark Souls anyway, is keep on doing New Game Plus anyway. So, but I've been playing this almost non-stop. I cannot get enough Dark Souls. It's just me. It's when people ask me about it to describe it, mostly some of my students at the karate school, all that kind of stuff, they ask me what kind of game it is, and I tell them it's the Tang Soo Do of video games. If you mess up, it will let you know by killing you. But it's your fault. Just like Tang Soo Do. If you mess up, we'll let you know. We're not going to kill you, but we'll let you know, and you either learn from it or you move on and play a different game. But so anyway, Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition. So happy about this. So in other words, this is the end of the video, if you couldn't tell, and I'm actually going to go play that. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about... Oh, I'm not done. I did get other stuff. It was sitting over here. Best Buy had this on clearance for $5. Sealed, not used. The box isn't even crushed or anything. So U-Draw, I've heard it's terrible, especially compared to the Wii U, but it's, whatever. It's... And I heard you can even hook it up to the PC and use it if you're doing like some weird doodling or something on your PC. So anyway, it's got the U-Draw game tablet, the Studio Instant Artist game type of thing. It's basically like Mario Paint on the new and updated stuff without a mouse. So anyway, $5. Couldn't really pass it up. And then Tiger Direct had Marvel Superhero. It's a kid's game, but hey, it's a Marvel game for the U-Draw, and they had this for $7, so free shipping, $7. So plus it's THQ, so collectors. But as is the Ghost in the Shell on the PlayStation, that's a THQ game as well. So it's now collector's items. So anyway, there's this, and then all I need to do now is I need to get Pictionary on the U-Draw, and then I can have game night. It'd be great, because Pictionary is awesome. So anyway, and then I did get this. Oh, ta-da! But pretty much everyone got one of these. I got it for less than $20 on Amazon. The only problem is, mine has these big, huge dents right there, and I was very upset, so Amazon's sending me a replacement, but they're making me ship this one back, which is kind of dumb, because, anyway. But it's got a lot of artwork in it. There's really, to be honest, everyone got this for one specific reason. Well, I guess two. One, the art, but another one is there's one page in here, and it's more towards the beginning, and I don't know if I can be able to find it right now, but I should have bookmarked it. Oh, there it is. This page right here. And I'm going to only show it to you real quick so Nintendo doesn't zap me for copyright infringement. But there it is. It's the timeline of Zelda. And it's basically what the rest of the world, since we didn't have a real timeline to go by, they basically... The community put a timeline that was, I think it was 2 timelines side by side. And then this one is actually saying Miyamoto went back through and created his own timeline that doesn't really match up with anything that was the community established based on the games, what it said in the games. So, yeah, I remember when A Link to the Past was first announced in America, it said, this is the start of the Zelda. This is the absolute first story in Zelda. It said it in Nintendo Power, excuse me. But it said this was the start. And now in this one, it's actually saying that Link to the Past was like one of the last games in the series, so that's kind of dumb. But anyway, so this, the Hyrule Historia. So I'll be going through that shortly, picking it apart. It's not a bad read so far that I've seen so far, but there's another thing that I was really ecstatic to get, and I paid about $40 for it. Well, less than $40, probably about 38 for it. But I was really excited to get this. This is the Color Omnibus for High School of the Dead. So, and then here's my girl in the back, Psycho. She's freaking awesome. But High School of the Dead. This is the Color Omnibus, Volume 1. And it's got everything in here. All the pencil lines were sharpened from the other anime, all that kind of stuff, like from the other manga, however you want to pronounce it. But this book is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, and everything is full color. There's no black and white. There's other artwork in there just from it. I hope I don't get zapped for NC-17 on YouTube or whatever, but. And then it's got a completely new cosplay of the Dead in here somewhere. Where is it? It's here somewhere. But it's a little OEM, or what is it, OVA story. Yeah, there it is. Extra episode, Cosplay of the Dead. And it has them, like, in... Psycho's in a bunny suit, and she's in a kimono, and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's sort of like a funny... little extra episode, but Color Omnibus, and then there's a picture on the inside which I cannot show you all of it, but it's really racy. So if you do get this, look on the inside cover. But the nice thing is the actual picture is on the hardcover too, so you don't need the slip cover on it if you're gonna read it, or you know what I mean. Not if you're gonna read it, but if you're gonna carry it around and stuff and have it look nice. So anyway. Color Omnibus for High School of the Dead. So, that's everything. So now that I have that out of the way, I can actually log it in. I have a program on my phone that organizes my whole collection, so I can start logging that in, putting stuff away, and clear out my room and actually clean. So, that's my second video of the pickups, and thanks for watching. If you have any questions whatsoever about anything here, or any other games, or even any questions for me, just let me know. And then I am going to be recording some footage for Ace Salieri's contest. Hopefully I make the deadline on that one because I've kind of slacked off in the meantime. But anyway, so I'll be entering that. So look for a video game review from me by March 5th, I guess. So again, questions, comments, rate, comment, subscribe is the normal catchphrase. Thanks for watching, and you guys have fun. Enjoy.